Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. So, after the UEFA Champions League game, Thierry Henry, Arsenal legend, asked Saka and David Raya whether they would love to win the Premier League or win the UEFA Champions League. The option was to pick one and not both, but of course, David Raya went with both. He wants to win the Premier League and the UEFA Champions League. Saka as well said he would love to win both, but if he was to choose this season, he definitely wants to win the English Premier League. So this question trickles down to the comment box below for you right on this channel watching. Should Arsenal focus on the English Premier League? Should Arsenal focus on the UEFA Champions League? And of course, a massive question and a very big part of the debate: can we do the double? And I think that's a question that many content creators out there are really asking themselves, not only on YouTube or even Twitter or social media channels, but also in mainstream media. Arsenal look threatening and will look very, very good. I think we are a side that many clubs will want to avoid, especially in the UEFA Champions League at this stage. You don't know what Arsenal are really going to come with. We are very electric, defensively very mean, and we don't allow in goals and chances. So, many clubs would love to see this Arsenal side maybe toned down a little bit before they can actually play us in the UCL and even right now in the English Premier League. So, can we do the double? Can we deliver in May and April? Because those are the 2 months that define who wins the Premier League and who wins the Champions League. I mean, the quarterfinals of the Champions League will happen in April, and the biggest part of games that decides who wins the Premier League is going to happen in April as well. So if Arsenal can hold it together through the month of April, win a couple of games, don't concede goals, and just continue on this very good run of form, you never know. We could be the guys to talk about parading something in London as Chelsea struggle with mid-table crisis. So let's dive into it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Can we do the double? And if we don't do the double, where should we focus? Is it the Premier League? Is it the UEFA Champions League? Now, listen. I personally love the UEFA Champions League because Arsenal have never won it. And when I speak about Arsenal's history, trophy collection, and all that, and I still think Arsene Wenger is a very good manager, and he was a phenomenal guy. But the fact that he didn't win the UCL slightly puts him out, slightly puts him out of the conversation. When we talk about Ferguson, when we talk about Carlo Ancelotti, when we talk about Pep Guardiola, when we talk about these great managers, likes of the likes of Jurgen Klopp, there is a way Arsene Wenger's name somehow slips through our fingers and tongues, and at times it goes without mention among the greatest managers of all time. But if he had done it in 2006, if he had beaten Barca in 2006, in my opinion, it would have been very different because he built the Arsenal that we know now, and he built the stadium that Arsenal are enjoying enormous success from right about now. So I would want Arsenal to win the Champions League this season. Like, no question about that. I think there is a massive opportunity for anyone who wants to win the Champions League this campaign vis-a-vis the Premier League. I think the Premier League is tight. The Premier League is hectic at the moment. If you think about Liverpool alone, they are absolutely very good. You think about Manchester City alone, they are absolutely very good. But the thing I love about the UEFA Champions League this season is you have great outfits still in the competition, but they're also weakening a little bit. Now, I think Madrid are good enough to beat an RB Leipzig and put them out. But the question with Real Madrid right now is, are they good enough to take on Manchester City and embarrass City or actually push out City? I don't think they are. I don't think they're really guaranteed to beat a club like Arsenal or even to beat an outfit like PSG that we know struggle in the UEFA Champions League. So I think there's a massive opportunity there for us. The Premier League, massive opportunity, but I think it's not going to be a walkover. I don't think Arsenal are going to win the Premier League with a difference of 5 points or even a difference of 4 points. If we are going to win it, it's going to be 2-3 points or even 1 point or even on goal difference. I don't remember the last time we had 3 teams run for the Premier League trophy until March and it is still this tight. And even if Arsenal lose a game right now, they are still in the title race. Even if Liverpool lose a game right now, they are still in the title race. Even if City lose a game right now, they are still in the title race. And the beauty about it is that two of these teams, Liverpool and City, have got the ability to win the last 10 games. Because Liverpool, we know they can win 10 games in a row, and Manchester City, we know they can win 10 games in a row. But what's actually interesting is that Arsenal have won 8 of their, actually 9 of their last 9 games in all competitions, scoring an enormous amount of goals. So Arsenal have already done it. They have won 9 out of their 9 games in all competitions, 8 out of 8 in the Premier League. That is to send a message to Manchester City and Liverpool that, hey guys, we are actually good and we mean business. And if you want to win 20 games in a row, I think we can do that. We think we can do that, right? We can win in any format. We can win at halftime. We can win in the second half, and we can also win in extra time and on penalties. We can do whatever it takes for us to go and win it. So those 2 trophies are actually, I would say, the spotlight of the campaign. Without anyone being very good, we want to see who wins the Champions League. And of course, with everyone absolutely being very good, we want to see who wins the Premier League. So where do our chances stand with the UCL? I've done a video yesterday saying that I think Arsenal are among the favourites to win the UEFA Champions League, and I'm not going to change that. I think we are among the top 3 favourites to win the UCL. I don't think I don't think Manchester City and Real Madrid are miles clear of this Arsenal side. City have had their defensive, part of problems this season, and of course they've had their own issues when it comes to breaking sides down, and that could be a massive advantage to this Arsenal side that doesn't really consider a lot of goals, but we have a goal-scoring machine up top, or goal-scoring machines up top in the likes of Saka, Odegaard, Leandro Trossard and Kai Havertz. So we can do the damage on the other side, and we can limit the damage on our side. The same goes with Real Madrid. They have one style of play. If they can't catch you on the break very well, they are really, really going to struggle. And if you press them very well, like RB Leipzig did in the round of 16 game at the Bernabeu, we might be listening to a different story tomorrow in the morning at 10 a.m. Not Real Madrid progressing to the semi-finals, but another opponent progressing to the semi-finals, or even the finals of the Champions League. So the question there for me is, can Arsenal seize this opportunity? And should we try to seize this opportunity? In my opinion, we actually should. I think the Champions League is not easy to win. I will disagree with whoever says that the Champions League is an easy competition to win. It's not very easy. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of traveling. There's a lot of history, that you have to deal with when it comes to winning the UCL. It is not about, I don't think it's about how good you are, but it's also, it's about how favorable are all the factors, for you. I mean, you look at Real Madrid, they've done it before because they have the experience. They've done it before because they were in form with the likes of Ronaldo. They've done it before because they have Carlo Ancelotti and Zinedine Zidane. So you have to combine all these factors. And I think with Manchester City, they will know that this is a big factor why they've not won the Champions League in many years until recently. And I think Arsenal will win the Champions League in the coming years. There's no question about that. I think Mikel Arteta has prepared a very, very good side. So this season, I think we should try to go for the UEFA Champions League. Just go game by game. If we play Bayern right now and we have the first at-home advantage, can you win that game 2-0? Can you win that game 3-0? So that when you go in Germany, in Munich, your job is to limit the amount of goals you concede. That's why I really prefer winning the first game. I prefer winning the first leg, because it just allows you script the second leg the way you want it. And of course, it doesn't always go by script, but it can give you a couple of ways to play with the script, right? So that is my opinion on the Champions League. Arsenal should definitely take this opportunity. I don't think out there we are going to have one single side that everyone thinks they are really good and they're going to obliterate everyone. So if this is the season where we try to do it like Tottenham Hotspur did it, I think this is the campaign. If there is a campaign that guarantees you a successful trial, I don't know, like quarterfinals is a good stage, really. Arsenal reached the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. That's a very good stage. But even reaching the semi-finals, that would be even better. So I'm going to say UEFA Champions League, we should definitely give it a try. Now, the Premier League is confusing for me, and I think I'm no longer worried about it. Why? Because I think Jurgen Klopp is leaving. I know, actually, Jurgen Klopp is leaving, and that is going to open up another gap for another superpower. I think Liverpool have been a really superpower ever since Jurgen Klopp really started enjoying the fruits of building his superpower side. But I don't think, and this is me, this is not on anyone, I don't think that Liverpool are going to be the same. Even if they bring in Zidane, even if they bring in Roberto Di Zerbi, even if they bring in Xabi Alonso, who I really, really like, and I would love to see at a side that is not Arsenal at the moment, because we've got Mikel Arteta, but I would love to see him at a club like Man United. I would love to see Xabi Alonso at a club like Liverpool. I would love to see another electric, side competing side by side, Manchester City and Arsenal. So, because Liverpool for me are not going to be the same, our focus can go away from the EPL for a moment. Of course, it is absolutely crazy. And Saka said for them this season as a camp, they would love to win the Premier League. That is their focus. So they think the Champions League will come. They're going to get much better. And the more dominant you become in Europe, the more good this side kind of generates, then eventually it will become like not really a priority, but a sure deal that we will win the UCL. And also I think it will become a sure deal that we will win the Premier League. Rio Ferdinand said something very interesting recently. He said, if this Arsenal side win one trophy, they are going to become unstoppable. And I think he is absolutely right. Look at the age group of these players and look at the contracts they're having. 2027, 2028, almost all our starting 11 and bench have contracts running up to 2027 and 2028. We are barely midway 2024. That means that if we win something in 2024, we will be even in a much better shape to win something in 2025, the same in 2026, and our peak is going to come in 2027 and 2028 respectively. So if Arsenal win 5 trophies or trophies within 5 years, you could find that Arsenal have won around 10 trophies within the next 5 years, and that is what we're trying to build. So for me, the Premier League is not something that I'm really, really scared about. I think under Mikel Arteta's tenure, Arsenal will win the Premier League more than 2 times. Unless something goes really south, the politics or something like that, or the manager becomes really unhappy with the way the club is investing, or something that the board and management have done, I really think Mikel Arteta is going to be here for a long time, and I really think the Premier League will be ours to lose in the next 5 years. I think we will dominate like Manchester City, and I think we will be a very, very good side competing alongside City and competing alongside clubs like Liverpool if they can still have the quality even without Jurgen Klopp. So, do we do the double? That's a big question there. But do we do the double? Do we focus on the double? Can we do the double? No. I don't think we can. I think it would be disorganizing ourselves. I think it would be the same attempt as Liverpool trying to do the quadruple. If they had just concentrated on the Premier League and Champions League, I know they would have gotten one, right? But the fact that they had not won the Premier League, that actually created a lot of nervy moments for them in the final for the Champions League, and Real Madrid really took advantage. I don't think Real Madrid deserved to win that. I don't think Real Madrid were a good side in that final. I just think Liverpool didn't concentrate enough to get the job done. So we shouldn't focus on the double. We shouldn't try to do the double. In my opinion, we need to focus somewhere. We need to do something. We either do the Champions League, which in my opinion, like I said, is a very good time to try. Or we either focus on the Premier League, which again, if you're an Arsenal fan, you have not won in 20 plus years, 21 now, and there is a massive opportunity. We are on top of the table, and that could be, a reason for us to go on, right? We don't know what's going to happen in April. We don't know what's going to happen in May. Probably Manchester City drop off, unlikely. Probably a Liverpool drop off, massively unlikely as well. But whatever happens, it could play in our hands. So I think we should focus on one. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. I'm sorry. It should be the Champions League. Yeah, it should be the Champions League. I think it is winnable. You've got to play Manchester City over 2 legs. that is in the quarterfinals. I mean, if we get them in the quarterfinals, we've got to play a Real Madrid in the semis and one game. So we are left with 5 games to win the Champions League, and we are left with 10 games to win the Premier League. If you do the mathematics, do you prepare for the 10 or do you prepare for the 5? I would rather prepare for the 5. I would rather put all my effort to the 5 games, and I think we will actually do well. Now, tomorrow we'll be doing a reaction to whoever we draw. If you're lucky, and I am lucky, and I have some time, we will be live as the draw goes on. We'll be doing a live reaction as the draw goes on. But if I get a little bit fixed up, we will do a match reaction. We will do a draw reaction to whoever Arsenal draw. And these are the 3 I would love to avoid. City, later on, please. Madrid, later on, please. Thank you. Thank you. Later on. And Atletico Madrid. I don't think the Wanda Metropolitano gets enough credit and enough respect this season. But those beasts out there, when they're at home, in front of those crazy fans, the Metropolitano is something that you don't want to visit any day, anytime. So I'll speak to you right, guys, in the next one. Hit the like button for me. Do we do the double? Do we win the Champions League? Or do we focus on the EPL? And of course, can Arsenal deliver in April and May?